Hello and welcome to News on the Hour. First, the major stories. Former Archbishop of Lokoja Province and the Bishop Anglican Diocese of Lokoja, Most Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ebuno, highlights the significance of Bishop's consecration in the Anglican Communion. The wife of the primate, Mrs. Angela Ndokoba, has reiterated that when families are impacted, the society will as well be impacted. Plus, the Christian Association of Nigeria clarifies meeting with presidency and reaffirms Christian genocide. And now the news in detail. Former Archbishop of Lokoja Province and the Bishop Anglican Diocese of Lokoja, Most Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ebuno, speaking on a CNN Now streaming morning show, highlighted the significance of Bishop's consecration in the Anglican Communion. He explained that because there is a consecration, the clergymen change from their black cassock as their usual habit and move into a new stage. This process symbolizes humility and reminds them of their roots.
From the time of the retreat, actually, because the consecration service, to just show that there's a lot of emphasis, seriousness attached to it, is the fact that the people being consecrated, just like ordination services, don't just wake up and remove their pajamas and then put on the robes and go to church. There is a time of preparation because there is a transition that is taking place. His former status as a clergyman in his usual habit, and now he's moving into a new stage. And this matter of transition happens even in ordination. When people are made deacon or priests, you will notice that they first sit among the people of God, the worshiping community. They don't just walk straight to the chancel. They are examined and then they return again, and prayers are made before they are ordained and admitted into the chancel. They were called from among the people. So they actually sit among the people and then they get up and move forward and they ask some questions. So when they come in like this, in their black cassock, it is to remind them that they were not born bishops. They have passed through stages, and you are going into a transition. You are going in as a clergyman. That humbles you, really. You don't go in with your shoulders high. Yeah, especially that it is the black cassock, not the white. The black cassock symbolizes humility. It's a time when people are going with humility before the Lord.
Speaking further, Archbishop Ebuno explained the significance of two bishops holding hands with the new bishop to be consecrated, saying the process shows that they are being called and brought in, also emphasizing continuity, while the witnesses symbolizes God's call upon them.
Generally, for the consecration of bishops, in the Anglican tradition, at least three bishops are required for consecration to be valid. Okay. There are consecrator, in our case, the primate, the co-consecrators. Are those two people who come, who bring the bishop-elect in, are emphasizing the principle of continuity. The fact that, these people are not just coming on their own. So no one takes this honor upon himself. He has to be called. They are being brought by witnesses in the church who say, we recognize God's call upon you. And those people who bring them forward are symbolic of that witness. In the Old Testament, we are told that at the mouth of two or 3 witnesses, a matter is established. So the principle is that at the amount of 2 or 3 witnesses, a matter is established. So these people are coming as witnesses who attest to the validity. We are witnesses to the fact that this person has a call which we recognize and we are bringing him forward.
Meanwhile, the Anglican Bishop of Nsukka Diocese, the Right Reverend Aloysius Abo, has expressed concern over what he described as a growing crisis in today's church. According to him, the church must wake up to the challenges eating deep into its foundation. Speaking in Abakaliki, Bishop Abu urged the church to return to the example of Jesus Christ by focusing on raising true disciples. He noted that the transformation of believers has been hindered because many churches are now preoccupied with activities rather than their core mission, which is nurturing souls and building disciples after the pattern of Christ.
There's a lot of confusion and crisis in ministry, crisis in our spirituality, crisis in our theology. It's just like if your father is a king and you don't know that he's a king, there's no way you can behave as a prince. So these things are connected. And to me, it is a serious, deep-rooted challenge that the church needs to face on. And how to face it is a paradigm shift in ministry. And this is going back to the Bible. How did Jesus do it? Jesus raised disciples. He didn't just raise congregation. He didn't just raise crowd. Jesus taught people with the aim of transforming their lives. That's why we saw Peter, few years with him, he changed to a different person. Mary Magdalene, staying with him, changed to become a different person. All the people that encountered Jesus, we are people that ordinarily we are nothing, but coming to Jesus, they became transformed. So our ministry should be a ministry that transforms. It should be a ministry of relationship, whereby ministers should intentionally focus on people. It should be people-driven, not project-driven, not program-driven. It should be people-driven. The whole interest should be the people, how they can change. And this can come through intentional relationship with the congregation. We don't have time. We come 2-3 hours of shouting in the church. We push them into the world. We have no time to sit down. Jesus sat down with his disciples. He was with them. Ministers should be ready to be with those that are coming to follow the Lord, to guide them. And unfortunately, some of us ministers don't have that personal experience, and it will be difficult. So it is completely going back to the drawing board.
The wife of the Primate, Metropolitan and Bishop of Abuja Diocese and President Mothers Union Women's Guild Priceless Jewels and Girls Guild, Mrs. Angela Ndokoba, has said that when families are positively impacted, then the society will be impacted positively too. She made this known in an interview with journalists in Abuja while speaking on the theme of the 2025 annual Abuja Diocese Women's Conference, which says the unchangeable promises of God, the covenant-keeping God, taken from Genesis chapter 15 verse 18 and Exodus chapter 2 verse 4. Mrs. Angela Ndokoba added that it is important for mothers to teach children to be obedient and have faith in God.
Our theme for this year is the unchanging promises of God, the covenant-keeping God. And this is a theme that shows us that no matter what we think we are going through, no matter the challenges, no matter the afflictions, no matter the hardship, God remains the same. His promises never changes. And for us as women, not just the women, the nation as a whole, we must know that this God is not a scam. Because people now believe that God is scam. Going to church is a scam. Some of those things that they hear from the Bible does not exist anymore. But it is not true. I want to encourage every woman, every person out there to believe in God, to believe in His promises, and remove fear, but have faith in the promises of God. And for us to gain from this theme, we must be obedient to God's word. So for women in the family, we must teach our children to be obedient. We must teach them to have faith in God. We must teach them the consequences when we don't obey God and His covenants which He has made and the promises which He has made to our forefathers. When we don't do that, there is no way we can claim those promises. So when we obey God and obey His promises, His command, His covenants, we will definitely live lives that will be beneficial. Children will learn to obey parents. We will learn not to steal. We will learn not to be corrupt. We will learn to be contented with that which we have. And by so doing, our families will be impacted, and this country will also be impacted, because our leaders come from homes. And when they learn from homes that this God is a God that keeps promises, He has promised to provide for us, He has promised to heal us, He has promised that He will never leave us nor forsake us. When we claim these things, there is no need trying to do it on our own. And if our families are impacted, we will also impact the society.
And the Christian Association of Nigeria, Acnn, through its president, Archbishop Daniel Oko, in a press statement, has corrected recent media reports following the visit of Barrister Daniel Bwala, special advisor to the president on media and policy communication, to the Acnn Secretariat. Archbishop Oko noted that Acnn's resolution on the issue has long been established and remains unchanged. Highlights that across many parts of the northern Nigeria and the Middle Belt, Christian communities have suffered repeated organized and brutal attacks which have left thousands dead, with villages destroyed and families displaced. And noting these are not isolated crimes but a continuing pattern of violence that has persisted over years without justice or closure. Acnn expressed displeasure over a press statement which falsely suggested that the Acnn president, Archbishop Daniel Oko, dismissed or downplayed the ongoing killings by describing them as a so-called Christian genocide, attributing it as false and grossly unfair, while emphasizing that the meeting was recorded by Acnn's media team and at no point did Archbishop Oko use such words or express such a view by referring to the tragedy as a so-called genocide, thereby trivializing the pain of countless Christians who have lost loved ones, homes, and places of worship in targeted attacks. In the statement, Acnn emphasized that during the meeting, Acnn's Director of Planning, Research and Strategy, Bishop Mike Akpami, presented verified data from Offer.Africa showing consistent and targeted attacks on Christians across Nigeria, further clarifying that Reverend Dr. General Secretary, and Dr. Celestine Aharawa, whose names appeared in some reports, were not present at the meeting. Archbishop Oko further called on the federal government and security agencies to act with urgency, fairness and transparency to halt the killings and bring all perpetrators to justice, while also urging media professionals and government officials to speak with truth, empathy and responsibility, as careless words can deepen wounds and undermine peace. Still to come, ASU suspends its 2 weeks warning strike, gives federal government 1 month to address their demands. This story and others will come your way after this short break. Please stay with us.
With the joy of the Lord, the Diocese of Kafanchan under the Ecclesiastical Province of Abuja, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion invites you to the 2024 anniversary with the theme, Great is Your Faithfulness. This event will be graced by anointed men of God, including the Most Reverend Dr. Cyril Odutemu, the Archbishop of the Ecclesiastical Province of Bendel, and the Bishop of Ueli Diocese, and the Synod Thanksgiving Preacher, the Right Reverend Forman Nedison, Bishop, Diocese of Jalingo, and the Synod Revival Speaker, Venerable Peter Okurumade, retired, OON MNI, Synod Guest Speaker, the Right Reverend Titus Alkali, Bishop, Diocese of Vusasa, and Synod Bible Study Leader, as well as Chief Femi Fani Kayode, the Sadokin Shinkafi and former Minister of Aviation, and anniversary guest lecturer. Host, the Right Reverend Dr. Marcus Dogo, the Anglican Bishop of Kafanchan Diocese. Date, Thursday 23rd to Sunday 26th October 2025. Time, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. daily. Venue, Cathedral Church of Holy Trinity, Hospital Road, Kafanchan, Kaduna State. This epoch-making ceremony will feature many activities including synod session, anniversary lecture, presentation of awards, Bible study, and revival. Come and be blessed. Jesus is Lord.
In terms of true worship, we must seek the Lord. We will not be able to come with all our perfections.
We will recognize as superseding every other gift. So love, in essence, is very important. Our position is who we are. Our disposition is the way we relate to who we are. So it's not about your position, it's also about your disposition. People of God, I want to tell you that no matter who you are, no matter your position, your status, you have encountered that superior power, the efficacious power of the blessing.
It says this God hears prayers, and then he expands the limits of whose prayer is heard.
Welcome back. You're still watching news on the on Acnn TV. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or our social media platforms on facebook.com or youtube.com/@ACNN Television. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN TV app, Avo TV app, Net Ninja TV app, Limex World TV app, or Android TV app from Google Play Store or iOS Store. And you can also advertise your goods and services on ACNN TV. Moving on, the director Njemanze Foundation, Mrs. Dorothy Njemanze, has highlighted the importance of shelter to the survivors of gender-based violence, while calling on the church to encourage its members on the need to support victims of gender-based violence in order to help grant access to justice. She made this call in an interview with ACNN News Crew in Abuja.
I would say that shelters are temporary accommodation that survivors of sexual and gender-based violence need. Now, in recognition of the fact that shelters are important, because everybody needs protection from rain or sunshine every day, and that is when a roof over your head becomes very important. In recognition of the fact that shelters are important, it's important for the church to encourage the members, for instance, to donate or to support. When people hear donation, many times people think about money, but clothes are born in shelters. Food is eaten in shelters. Utility bills are paid in shelters. Charcoal is needed for cooking. Gas is needed for cooking. So whatever it is, the different members of the congregation have different things that they can contribute. If you have a farm, you can contribute to ensuring that there's availability of food amongst other things. So at the end of the day, standing in the gap on behalf of the land is actually practically supporting survivors who come, to get the things that they need when they come. And then a very critical thing they need is access to justice. Many people cannot afford food to eat, let alone the medical care that will keep them alive or provide corroborative evidence. Or sometimes it is it's a wide range of things. The payments in police stations, amongst other things. So in supporting organizations that exist to support survivors, it means we are saying that we're giving an opportunity for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence to just continue living and participating in society. So if we love God, we'll practically use the resources God has given to us to support the vulnerable. Survivors of sexual and gender-based violence are vulnerable and should be supported.
And speaking on the state of the nation, a member of the Basilica of Grace Church, Abuja, and a politician, Chief Emmanuel Victor, speaking with a CNN news crew in Abuja on the state of the nation, has reiterated that unity is paramount in Nigeria, while advising the leaders to always keep to their promises.
It has always been one Nigeria. I will encourage them to sheathe their sword, pray, and then hopefully God will intervene, and then Nigeria will continue to be one. Nigeria will continue to be peaceful, and then we'll continue to enjoy the dividends of democracy by the grace of God. My advice to the leaders, first of all, is to keep their promises. Because we have had situations where people come to campaign, people come to lobby for votes, they make bogus promises, and then when they are elected, they forget the masses. Nigerians don't want too much. Sometimes when I come to the television station, I tell you people, we don't want too much as Nigerians. We just want basic amenities, little things to keep us going. If the people we have elected or we've entrusted with the leadership role are able to give us basic amenities, I don't think Nigerians will have any problem. We are very contented people.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, through its president, Professor Chris Piwuna, announced the suspension of the 2 weeks warning strike, which began on October the 13th. The strike, which was set to end on the 26th of October, was suspended following renewed commitments from the federal government and the National Assembly to address the union's demands. ASU President Professor Chris Piwuna made the announcement at a press conference in Abuja, citing recent interventions and engagements with the Yayale Ahmed-led committee and the Deputy Senate President as the reasons for suspending the action before its scheduled end. The lecturers urged the government to take advantage of the 1-month suspension window to meet their demands, which include the review of the 2009 ASU federal government agreement, payment of outstanding salaries and earned allowances, as well as the disbursement of the University Revitalization Fund, among others. ASU also warned that the union would resume the industrial action without prior notice if no concrete steps were taken within the next 1 month. The Senate has approved a bill to establish the Nigerian Mines Rangers Service, a special agency that will help tackle illegal mining and improve security in mining communities across the country. The decision followed the adoption of a report by the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals Development, chaired by Senator Acnn Sampson, during plenary. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, who presided over the session, noted the proposed service would strengthen existing mining laws and bring sanity to the sector while creating jobs and improve government revenue. Senator Sampson, while presenting the report, stated the new agency would provide a structured framework to monitor mining activities, enforce environmental and safety laws, and ensure sustainable mining practices. The bill, sponsored by Senator Mohammed Ogosha Onawo, seeks to protect mining sites, regulate operations, and safeguard host communities affected by illegal mining. Some senators who contributed to the debate described the creation of the Mines Rangers Service as a welcomed step towards addressing the growing cases of illegal mining and insecurity in resource-rich areas. And now a recap of the major stories. Former Archbishop of Lokoja Province and Bishop Anglican Diocese of Lokoja, Most Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ebunu, highlights the significance of Bishop's consecration in the Anglican Communion. The wife of the primate, Mrs. Angela Ndokoba, has reiterated that when families are impacted, the society will as well be impacted. Plus, Christian Association of Nigeria clarifies meeting with presidency and reaffirms Christian genocide. Well, this is it on News on the Hour. Thank you for staying with us. I am Promise Njoku Adibe. Have a blessed day ahead.
You can't deceive God. None of us can deceive God.
Nobody can actually become a leader if God has not ordained it.
What is the right knowledge? The right knowledge is scripture.
Yes, sir.
Because the Bible is light years ahead of science.
But I usually will ask God, how do I explain this thing in a way that people will understand? The Spirit of God can anoint you to teach, can anoint you to preach, can anoint you for business, can anoint you in politics.